It allows me, again, I can live through them in the sense of running. Seeing them exceed everything I could have never done on that field just gives me great joy and, excitement that, wow, look at how well they've grown over the years that they've been here at UMass Lowell.
Dayo relates really well to the kids. Probably beyond anything else, he, obviously his skill, instruction in the hurdles is really good, and but just the way he relates to the kids in the team and the way he trusts them, and the way he interacts with them on a daily basis.
He is Kazeem Dayo Ibraheem. Dayo, on the campus of UMass Lowell with a 2002 graduate, was a hurdler and a key member of the track and field team, and is currently an assistant track and field coach. Kazeem to co-workers at his UPS office in Watertown, his full-time job. Dayo, Kazeem, one person, two worlds, maybe more than just two worlds.
In a perfect world, I would be the CFO of UPS so that I would have tons of people to run the company, and then I would coach a collegiate program.
Ibrahim was born in Chicago, but spent the first 4 years of his life in Nigeria with his grandparents. If you ask him where he grew up, he'll tell you it was Methuen, just down the road from the UMass Lowell campus. He was a good student, a fine athlete, a football player, and a multi-event track competitor. He was the captain of those teams, and he was the high school class president. As he prepared for the future, though, UMass Lowell was not, at least not originally, was not on his radar.
For me, UMass Lowell was in my backyard. Growing up in Methuen, Massachusetts, knowing that Lowell is there, I've been to Lowell to watch sporting events growing up. Lowell wasn't my first choice because of that factor, that I'd be so close to home. Looking back at it now, it should have been my first choice because it was actually the perfect school, perfect environment for me. I knew when I got into college I wanted to do sports. I actually kind of wanted to play football again, and not realizing where I was, coming out of high school, you think you can do all these things. When I was in high school, I was a class president, I was, on sporting teams, captain of both teams and whatnot. So I was like, well, I'm going to go into college, I'm going to do the same thing, I'm going to, run the world. And it was kind of an eye-opener realizing that, when I couldn't get into schools that I wanted to, and also play football and run track at those schools, it's kind of like, wow, you gotta, you're not this big fish in a small pond anymore, you're now a little fish in a very, very big pond, and time to adjust to the reality of what's really out there. I'll have to say that first year of being here at UMass, of being at UMass Lowell and actually getting to compete and realizing, wow, I didn't run maybe my best times what I did when I was in high school, but I realized that, wow, these kids are really, really good, really, really fast, and I had a lot of work I would have to do to kind of get myself up to that level. And that was definitely a big eye-opener for me. There is the men's NE10 championship. The first year that UMass Lowell men's team was in the NE10, the men's team won that championship. I believe today that's the only men's championship, conference championship to date. And what was very special about that one event is that, Coach Davis and Coach Extran had been working very hard to kind of get the team ready to go for that. And I competed in 5 events at that meet, and I was able to score in all of them. So knowing that I had a great, I was able to put my stamp on, hey, the team got their first conference championship, and I was able to be a part of that. Even if I had only scored in one event, I would have been very satisfied, but I was able to score in everything they put me in. So I knew that I was a big help to the team that day, and that's really what I wanted to be, is be an asset to the team, say, hey, I contributed and I helped, and I worked hard enough to help this program.
He did help. He did contribute. And as his college career, both on the track and in the classroom, was ending, Ibrahim assumed that he would have a job at Gillette, where he had interned, but found himself with an uncertain future when that job disappeared. He took a part-time job at UPS. It was a job, and it was an opportunity to make some money to help pay for his postgraduate education. UPS has always had a reputation for helping young people with their education, and Kazeem Dayo Ibraheem took advantage of that. It was also the beginning of something that would grow and blossom, an impact that is being felt even today.
So it was kind of a natural fit, and I needed a job. So I started in as a part-time loader. I was basically working probably 25 hours a week just loading trailers with UPS, and I kept telling them, I'm an undergrad, I just graduated from UMass Lowell, I'm working on my MBA, and I can do a lot more than load a tractor-trailer truck. 30 days later, I was promoted to a PD supervisor. I had 40 and 50-year-old people working underneath me at that point in time, and I was like, okay, how do I how do I run this operation and have them respect me, knowing that I'm 23 years old, just got out of college, and they all knew my background, that I'd worked in, I was basically doing a job that they were doing, but I was only doing it for 30 days, and I've already jumped up into being a part-time supervisor for them. I like the ever-changing environment of UPS. I will say that I don't think I could be someone that sits behind a desk 24/7. In my position here at UPS in customer solutions, I go out and meet tons of customers daily, weekly, and I get to learn about what they do for business. Anytime you can help guide someone to their goal and be a part of that, it's a win. It's a big success. And anytime I'm in with a company and they've come to us, we've got this issue, we've got this problem, and can you help us? And you can actually say, yes, I can help you, and yes, we can offer assistance to get them to that ending goal. Absolutely. Very big passion in that, and I kind of do my fist pumps in the office when no one's really looking, like, yeah, we got another one.
While his business career was taking off, Kazeem Dayo Ibraheem was not willing to let go of his passion for track and field and UMass Lowell. And as such, simultaneously, a second career began. A coaching career got started.
I always want to be able to give back to the program. What could I do where I could continue to be involved with the program? Because I always wanted to stay involved with the program because I felt that I got so much from it and the university that coaching was that natural step that I knew enough about it and I knew I could learn more about the sport of track and field, that coaching was that natural fit for me where I'm like, okay, now I can give back. I can give back to these kids coming into the program that I got from Coach Davis and Coach Extran and the school itself that supported me growing up.
He joined George Davis's staff as a volunteer assistant and then was one of the first assistant coaches hired by current coach Gary Gardner.
When I met Gary the first time, very open, very knowledgeable, and he was very open to having me on his staff, And in that very first year, it was more so, how can I help the program as he transitioned in? And also because the class that was there, I kind of had a familiarity with some of the younger kids that were there that weren't graduating, so that helped him as well with what he was trying to do, coming as a new head coach of the program. And Gary's been an outstanding head coach in the time that he's been here. He's grown this program by leaps and bounds, and can't say enough about what Gary's done.
2 jobs, 2 careers. It can be demanding. It can most certainly be a challenge.
Both require a lot of time and dedication. I think in order to be a professional person and be in the business world today, you've got to dedicate a lot of time to it. But then to be able to coach at a collegiate level and even to coach at a Division I level, that's a full-time job in itself, whether you're part-time or not. So it's a lot of time management, and it's a lot of long days. I think that's one thing I will say I'm a lot better at now than I was when I was a student.
Kazeem Dayo Ibraheem, businessman, coach. But neither of those titles explain this photo. But the photo provides just a little bit more insight.
So that picture is from my engagement. The Boston Red Sox is an account that, again, UPS works with, so I'd made some good contacts and relationships over there. And in one of our business meetings, I was joking saying I would love to get married in Fenway Park, but I don't think my fiance, my wife, would be all about getting married in a baseball park. But they're like, well, you know what? If you can't get married here, why don't you come do your engagement photos here? And she agreed to it. She agreed to let's do our engagement photos at Fenway Park. And of course, we went in there. We had 2 camera crews with us taking pictures, and we're dancing on the dugout. And it was actually a funny day because they were giving tours as they do at Fenway Park, and the tours were taking pictures of us because they thought we were celebrities because we were dancing on the dugout, getting our wedding pictures done, and they thought we were some kind of celebrities,